From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 18th, 2025. After terror group Hamas refused to release more Israeli hostages, the IDF said today that it hit Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad targets in Gaza over the past 24 hours. Among those targets, terrorist cells, launch sites, weapons, and other military infrastructure that the IDF said the organizations used to plan and carry out terrorist acts and posed a threat to IDF forces and the citizens of Israel. The IDF said among the terrorists eliminated mid-level commanders and senior figures in Hamas's political wing, including the de facto Hamas prime minister and senior government figure in the Gaza Strip, as well as other high-level ministers. The IDF saying this is with the aim of damaging Hamas's military and governmental capabilities and removing a threat to the state of Israel and its citizens. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said this morning that the Prime Minister and Israel's Defense Minister Yisrael Katz instructed the IDF to take strong action against Hamas in Gaza, saying this follows Hamas's repeated refusal to release our hostages, as well as its rejection of all of the proposals it has received from U.S. presidential envoy Steve Witkoff and from the mediators. Witkoff's proposal aimed to extend phase one of the ceasefire agreement with Hamas by several weeks and include the release of a number of living hostages, as well as returning the remains of a number of deceased hostages. Israel's foreign ministry said Hamas has refused every deal and rejected every offer, all while holding 59 Israeli hostages in unimaginable conditions underground and planning deadly attacks against Israeli civilians. The only way this ends, our hostages come home and Hamas lays down its weapons. The hostages who remain captive in Gaza have now been held for 529 days. This evening, Israel's Air Force intercepted a ballistic missile launched from Yemen, presumably by the Houthis. Red alert sirens sounded in parts of the country, sending Israelis in Beersheba and other parts of southern Israel to bomb shelters and safe rooms. The IDF said the missile was intercepted before it crossed into the country's territory, and there were no injuries or damage reported. Voting began last week for the 39th World Zionist Congress, giving American Jews a say in the future of the Jewish people in Israel and around the world, by choosing one of 21 slates representing diverse political beliefs, religious denominations, and cultural traditions. The 152 delegates elected from those slates in the U.S. will then join hundreds from Israel and around the world at the 39th Congress coming up in October to make decisions, it said, and set policies regarding key institutions that support global Jewish life. Executive Director of the American Zionist Movement, Herbert Block, said by electing representatives who directly promote the interests of the U.S. Jewish community, American Zionist voters are poised to seize their most tangible opportunity to be heard on issues that will shape our collective future as a Jewish people. Simultaneously, Block said this election is American Jewry's chance to unmistakably affirm our support for Zionism. It is imperative that we take this stand now more than ever, following the horrors of October the 7th of 2023 and the ongoing war. Well, the documentary October 8 opened in theaters this weekend, examining the explosion of antisemitism here in the United States one day after the October 7th Hamas massacre, on college campuses, on social media, and in the streets. The film is directed by Wendy Sachs and executive produced by actress and activist Deborah Messing, who is also featured on camera in the film, as well as actor-comedian Michael Rappaport, author and activist Noah Tishby, Mossab Hassan Youssef, son of a Hamas founder turned Israel advocate, former Meta COO Sheryl Sandberg, Congressman Richie Torres, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, U.S. Ambassador Deborah Lipstadt, college students, and more. October 8 is now playing in movie theaters across the country. And we want to congratulate Jonah Platt and the entire team of Being Jewish with Jonah Platt, the video podcast series we are privileged to bring to you each week here on JBS, for its outstanding contribution in forwarding the conversation around Jewish identity and support for Israel, with his thoughtful commentary and insightful guests. Being Jewish received a Wilbur Award from the Religion Communicators Council, who announced its 2025 winners on Friday, recognizing exceptional work by 20 media outlets last year in the fields of print and online journalism, book publishing, podcasts and radio, television, and film. Host Jonah Platt wrote, "Honored and excited to receive our first Wilbur Award. Mazal tov, Jonah." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, March the 18th at 7 o'clock. Shabbos Kestenbaum discusses his experiences with antisemitism at Harvard Divinity School and his legal challenge addressing the institution's alleged failure to protect Jewish students from discrimination. At 8, Justin Pines is joined by Yehuda Kohn, longtime director of Beit Elazraki's children's home in Netanya, and Mishel Marchasin, a former resident and Presidential Medal of Excellence recipient, about the home's transformative impact on at-risk children in Israel. At 9, it's Ryan Hyman on L'chaim. At 10, it's Good Week Israel at 10:30, an encore of the news. And coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 18th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.